Hi, friend. Welcome back to another episode of Ash to Dusk. This is our midweek moment where we pause and check in with each other, see how we're doing, making sure we get back on track if we fell off. Some of you are plowing through and you're set, you're good to go, and life is great. And maybe some of you are really struggling. And this is the time of year when the New Year's resolutions really start to fall off. So I want to check in with you. We've had some cold days and snow days here with my kiddos. And if you're like me, it's like you have a whole plan laid out of how everything's going to go. And then things change, and then they might change again. And then it kind of puts you in a little bit of a frenzy. So if that has been you this week because you live in the northeast part of the country, I, I see you, I hear you, I am in it with you, and I'm ready for my kiddos to get back into a good flow and rhythm and welcome in spring. I keep cheering for spring to get here. I cannot wait. I know we have a ways to go. So I will just enjoy the sunshine that we have 2 days in a row now here in Northeast Ohio. Super excited for that. And I'm not being dramatic. I am not. I was on Facebook the other day scrolling a little bit, and our local Facebook, there's like a Facebook page, and they report news locally. And they had made like a joke on there, but they're just like, everyone look up into the sky. There's a ball on fire. And I'm like, see, I know I am not being dramatic when it comes to the sun, but I'm telling you what, it makes a difference when the sun is shining on my mood. It just does. And so today has been a really good day. I've gotten so much done, even though my kids are home on a cold day today. So, all right, let's just dive in for a minute. So, we are at the point of the new year where if you set a resolution, you probably have already quit, or you're thinking about it, or you're inconsistent right now with it. So you're probably falling in one of those three categories. And I've talked quite a bit about New Year's resolutions and goals and how New Year's resolutions always fail. Well, majority of them do. And that's not to knock. I mean, I'm a goal setter. I set goals all the time. So it's not to say don't go after a goal, but it's just the reality. And so why is that? Why is it right now we are falling off track with those goals? Well, it's because life gets busy, right? And we've talked about that. Life gets so busy, and we have snow days and cold days and all these things that come up. And it's not your lack of motivation. I know you're motivated to do the work that you need to do. I don't lack the motivation either, but what it comes down to is consistency. Are you consistently showing up? Now, I love what Dave Ramsey teaches. I'm not for everything that he does in the financial space, but I do really like what he talks about, like his snowball method, right? Just start with the lowest debt. Don't even focus on your interest rate. Focus on the smallest debt, because if you can pay that off quickly, you're going to feel like you accomplished something, and then you're going to gain momentum, which is like that snowball effect where the more you roll it over, the bigger it gets. Then you're going to be able to pay off more. So I want you to take that and think of it for your life this week. What is a quick win that you can do? Um, I had I had to move around my days this week because of the cold days and the snow days. And we work with school districts. So if you're scheduled on site to go to school and then they cancel, we have to rearrange things around. But that also means rearranging the other work that I do, which is this side of it, the filming, the personal growth space. And, I sit here with this big to-do list, and sometimes I get overwhelmed by that because I'm a really good list maker. Are you like that? Where you'll write out a long list and you keep adding to it and adding to it. But then next thing you know, you get really overwhelmed by it because you're just like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. So I want you to do this for the rest of this week. If you have a really big to-do list, I want you to write it all out. Get it out of your head. All right. Put it all down on paper. It might look really long. It might look crazy like this. Um, and you might have Post-its everywhere. I had Post-its all over, but I took all those Post-it notes, I wrote them down in my journal, and I threw them away. So if I get rid of the clutter, I can get rid of the clutter out of my mind. So I want you to list it out, but then I want you to just think of what are 3 things that I can get done right now off of this list that if I would just do it, it would feel so much better. We've talked about this before where you procrastinate for whatever reason on something, and you might procrastinate for months. But then when you go and do it and it takes you 5 minutes to do it, you say to yourself, what? Why didn't I do this sooner? Are you like that? Because I do that. And I get really like mad at myself because I can't figure out why I still do that. Now, I don't procrastinate as often, but I'm finding myself in that rhythm a little bit because there's just a lot going on and a lot of moving parts. And they're just like you with work, owning a business, same way. There are things that I love about running a business, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But are there some things that I absolutely do not like that I have to do? Yes. And those are the things that I tend to put off, and I focus on the things that I love. But those things that I don't want to do weigh me down. So even if I accomplish these other things, I don't feel fulfilled. I just know in the back of my mind I have this thing lingering. So if I just jump over here and get this thing done, number one, it feels amazing. But number two, everything else I accomplish for the day feels even better because I know that that's done. Now, I feel like that was just a lot of random words spoken right now. I'm not going to lie, I've had a headache all day today and I cannot shake this headache. I think part of it is I'm really trying to cut the added sugar out of my life. It's hard. I absolutely love pop. We've talked about that before too. And I think in the midst of letting some of that go, my brain is like, what is happening here? Give me more sugar. And also, the reality is, my blood pressure has been high. It's been high. And I don't know how long because I stopped really tracking it there for a moment. But I will say that between the holidays, with just eating whatever the heck I wanted to eat, I've been enjoying the couch in my bed a little bit more than I usually would. There have been some very stressful moments over the last few months, and I had neglected everything that I knew to be true about how to manage my blood pressure and my stress because I went back to what's familiar, right? Just open up the can of Pepsi, just put in a French bread pizza, just start again tomorrow. And today's wellness edit that dropped is all about fueling yourself. So I want you to go check it out. You can go to ashleymarina.com, and our registered dietitians on the team put together a really good guide for you. And honestly, it's everything that I am incorporating into my life. So I don't come at it as like I'm the expert and tell you how to be. This is just, here are the things that I'm working through, and I want to share it with you. So as we navigate this week, I want you to kind of keep 2 things in mind. If you're off track a little bit, you have this long list to do, it's okay. You can get right back on it. List everything out that you need that needs to be done, and then pick 3 things on that list, but specifically something that you've been putting off because you don't want to do. It doesn't light you up. You don't love it. And then I want you to think about the foods that you're going to put into your body for the rest of this week that will make you feel better, and not the kind of joy that queso dip brings with nachos or that a cracked cold Coca-Cola will do for your soul. I'm not talking about that, although those are fine. I'm talking about foods that will make you feel good long term. Anything colorful that doesn't have the dyes, right? So I'm not talking like talking about Doritos with like red dye in it. I'm talking about strawberries, fruits, veggies, that kind of thing. So it's what I'm working on this week. I got my list down on paper. I started checking off the things I didn't want to do. I started working on it, my grocery list and what I needed to have in my house so that I don't go further off the rails when it comes to my nutrition. But okay, that was a lot today. And I felt like this conversation is a little bit about how my last week and a half, 2 weeks have been, which is a little bit all over the place, a little bit scattered. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show up for you, because that also means I'm showing up for myself. It is consistency, and consistency is what moves the needle forward, not even the motivation. You need the motivation to get yourself started, my friend, but you need consistency to keep going. So even when you don't feel good, even when things aren't going your way, if you use that as an excuse and you say, I'll pick up again tomorrow, that's going to become familiar, and you're going to keep doing that over and over again. So wherever you're at this week, take a nice deep breath and finish this week strong. You've got this, my friend. All right, until we meet again, keep your light burning from ash to dusk.